Ciao, travelers, and welcome to our episode. We are going to our second to last continent to visit, and it's Australia, or Oceania. We're actually going to be in Australia. We're doing the city of Melbourne. I'm lucky to have two good friends that live in Melbourne. So, hi, Sam and Gabby. Hope you enjoy this episode. So, before we get down under, let's get into some trivia. And if you haven't heard, because this is like a week late, this podcast, because I released my album last week. It's called The Universe Can Dance. It's a dark space house music album. So check it out, and I hope you enjoy. I took all these out. I don't know why I did that. I guess I was talking too much about my music. Okay, all right, let's hit the freeway. You know what? It's so funny. This country comes up, and we just did it last week, our last episode. Okay. Oh, I know. I feel like I did this already. That's why it came up. Let's reuse the card. Just chuck it away. Okay. How about this one? Okay. How many countries border Algeria? And keep in mind, Algeria is the largest African country in size. Like spatial size. Ow, that hurt. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it is 7. Okay. Oh, think of the state I live in. Which is the largest of the Channel Islands? So that's in the English Channel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it's Jersey. And that's how our state is named after that island. Okay. Okay. Which country introduced a one-child policy in 1979? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it is China. All right, we'll get back to that. So, we're on the United website today, and we did like 2 days on Trip Savvy in Cape Town. So now we're doing 3 days in Melbourne. So Melbourne may not be the biggest city, but it's actually usually the cultural capital of Australia. It's known for its cafes, its walkability, its diverse restaurant choices. So it's a pretty cool city, and it usually ranks very high with Sydney and most of Australia in best places to live. And something interesting, people think Australia is just like one climate. Melbourne really does have 4 seasons. Like the leaves change colors. They really don't get snow, but it gets cool there. All right, so before you know, Melbourne's great. Public transportation is very walkable. And you also, there's a big central business district, and there's a lot of trolleys. That's what it's known for, like tram cars. And yeah, there's 4 seasons. And actually, Melbourne residents would tell you their hometown is famous for its climate that can cover 4 seasons in a day. So due to its coastal position on the far southeastern corner of the continent, be prepared for a little bit of everything. So even in the warmer months, November to March, so most of my fans live up here, our seasons are opposite. Consider packing 1 or 2 warm layers and a light jacket that can stand up for rain and wind. All right, so day 1, explore the shores of St. Kilda. Okay, for the first day in Melbourne, there's no better area to wander through than St. Kilda. Technically, it's a suburb of the city proper. St. Kilda sits along the shore just south of the CBD, Central Business District. I'll be saying that a lot. Its landmark beach and adjacent walking paths called the Esplanade are perfect to stroll through a nice day. You're likely to see plenty of boats, surfers, and windsurfers. So if you like that thing, go ahead. I don't mess with that. All right, so a place you can visit is Luna Park. You won't miss the entrance to the amusement park that sits right alongside the Esplanade. Luna Park was built in 1912 with the help from designers of the original Luna Park in Coney Island, New York. And resemblance between the two is easy to see. Melbourne's version hosts what's said to be the world's oldest continuously active roller coaster, and could be worth the admission fee if you're in that sort of thing. Otherwise, it's a great place to take a silly photo. Okay. So again, you can do that, but you can also walk around. they have landmarks, and there's an Esplanade Hotel, which is a Victorian style place. You know, they have music some nights. There's a lively pub. It's a social scene. So it's Australia was, you know, conquered or taken over from the Aborigines from England. It was a penal colony. So the British culture is very alive and well there. So in that area, Fitzroy Street. So that's the main street where you can see different kind of foods. You can get kebab, you can get pizza, you get Vietnamese, oh my God, food. It's my last day of summer school, so my brain will be getting better. So yeah, so that's something you can walk up and down. It has a nightlife, so you can peruse those restaurants. All right, we're on day 2. Now we're diving into the CBD, Central Business District. Okay, so Melbourne may be the cultural capital of Australia, but its CBD is hardly lacking in prominence either. In fact, with 77 skyscrapers of at least 150 meters in height, Melbourne has the most high-rises of any Australian city. Okay, so things to do and see. Yarra River Cruise. There's no better way to tour the CBD's almost gravity-defying towers and other historic landmarks than a cruise through the river at its heart. The Yarra River splits the CBD into 2 before emptying into Hobson's Bay at the city's port. So Melbourne sits up here and it has a big bay. All right, so you can get a narrated tour that tells you about the history and about how these skyscrapers came about. Melbourne and a lot of Australian cities really, really boomed after World War II, when a lot of people came over from Europe and then eventually Asia and Africa, mostly Asia because it's near there. So, you know, the city, it really grew in the last, 70 years. There's Queen Victoria Market. It's a 17-acre open air market said to be the largest in the Southern Hemisphere. So, you can get food. I think it goes with food, but there's eateries and live entertainment. Again, it's a place to meet the locals. There's the State Library Victoria. On a weekend or holiday, nearly every nook and cranny of the CBD can feel jam-packed with people. The State Library Victoria may be an exception to this if you're looking for a momentary escape from the hustle and bustle. It's also a beautiful building to explore. The crown jewel is La Trobe Reading Room, built in 1913 with a 114-foot diameter glass dome overlooking the stacks. All right, where to eat? So if you're spending time in the city center, they have a Chinatown. So Melbourne's Asian district gives famous Chinatowns in the US a run for their money. Situated on the east end of Little Bourke Street between Swanston and Spring Streets, a section of the CBD makes it clear on just how diverse Melbourne is, with nearly every Asian country's cuisine represented. So this is a cool area to explore food. So the theme of this city is really like eating and socializing and shopping. That's just mine, and seeing some cultural sites. But it's, to me, a lot more urban and cosmopolitan than I never been to Australia, but I feel like Sydney's more like an LA vibe and Melbourne's a New York vibe, and coming from the New York area, I find that comforting. Okay, so day 3, venture out to Fitzroy and beyond. So Melbourne is a city with personality where you can find enough to see and explore in a few blocks to fill almost a whole day. Fortunately, it's pretty easy to bop around to different parts of the city or the greater Melbourne area thanks to the area's walkability and public transit options. Perhaps this is why Melbourne often ranks as top of the world's most livable cities. All right, things to do and see. Melbourne Central. Before you leave the CBD, it's worth strolling through Melbourne Central, which hosts the city's major train station among several other sites, including Coop's Shot Tower. As a minor architectural marvel, Melbourne Central is capped by a 20-story tall glass dome to cover the 19th century 160-foot shot tower. It's an impressive thing to behold. So when I would watch Real Housewives of Melbourne, they would always show a shot in front of the station. This is something cool that I like to go when I see cities or their gardens. So they have the Royal Botanic Gardens of Victoria, It's 90 acres, and you'll see a variety of plants from local flora and fauna to specimens from Asia and Africa. And it's a cool place to spend the day and really get with nature. I just had a green team event, and we talked about just sitting with nature and just hearing the birds and seeing greenery and smelling flowers really gets like you into a place of tranquility and just bonding and just being with the universe. And that's something, as I get older, when I travel, I like to take my time. I don't do like 20 million things in a day. Like I went to Budapest with my friend Sasha, and we spent like 4 or 5 hours in the park meeting people. We rode little bikes. It was a good time. So try to get to some nature when you travel. All right, Fitzroy, another keystone neighborhood of Melbourne. Fitzroy might be your first stop if boutique shops are your thing. So this is probably out of my price range as a teacher. Known for its eclectic bohemian vibe, you can walk all through Fitzroy to pursue numerous art galleries and studios. That's up my alley. Not to mention street art and a few performances on the sidewalk whenever there's a crowd. Architecture buffs will also enjoy another heavy dose of Victorian styling on terraced apartments along Nicholson Street, for example. For a lively evening of music, drink, and dancing, Fitzroy is hard to beat. So Melbourne's also known for its laneway bar. So some of the city's many hidden gems are often quite literally hidden, at least from the street. So laneway bars are little places where you can use it for adults to have adult drinks. But I assume, if that's your vibe when going out, those little laneway bars are a great way to meet people if you are of that age. Okay. Attica. If you're willing to venture further out of the CBD in search of top-class Australian cuisine, Attica could be near the top of your list. Just a short drive or transit way in the suburb of Rupanelli. Probably butcher that. It's been on the list of top restaurants in the world. So they have barbecued saltwater crocodile ribs. I'll probably try that. Hibiscus flower stuffed with emu liver pate, and even wallaby corn dogs could all grace the menu in the evening. Paired with an eclectic and fun space with a carnival atmosphere, Attica is another instance of Melbourne's unmistakable knack for turning everything sensory detail up to 11 with amazing results. Okay, well, I really hoped you enjoyed Melbourne. It was my last day of summer school, and it's 100 degrees in New Jersey, so thank you for understanding. If I'm making mistakes, I mean, let's be honest, I'll make a mistake if it's cold, hot, whatever. Okay, let's get into some trivia. Oh, so I'm going to Spain next year for my 40th. But so this kind of has to go with this. Which is the largest of the Canary Islands? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's Tenerife. All right. Oh, come on, this is easy. What is the theater district of New York known as? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Broadway. Okay. Final one, finalmente, finally. What is the name of the currency in Argentina, Chile, Uruguay, and Colombia? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the peso. Okay, so I really hope you enjoyed this podcast. We have one continent left to do, and that will be the next show. So remember, if you know geography, you know anyone, study up on it. It's, travel. And even if you can't travel, go on Google Maps, watch this video again, have some time. And stay cool. All right. Ciao, travelers.